Could you address like worldwide? So the rest of the world is looking, and they don't know it's a fantasy.
Can I address
Maybe.
This is a question I definitely would like to get Bobbito's feedback on, and also you as well, Delphine.
that? With regards to that, that's a beautiful point. I was blessed to be the first U.S. hip hop personality to ever perform in post-apartheid South Africa, and that was in 2000 on the very weekend celebration of the formation of the African National Congress. And when I was out there, I didn't acknowledge the fact, being, I'm decently well read and college graduate and everything else, until I went there, and the brothers out there were like, "Yo, why do cats in the hip hop videos wear so much jewelry? Like, are they aware that the mines are here and people have 40-year life expectancy, and and then they started breaking down to me like the whole diamond conflict. I mean, everything. I learned everything about that like 12 years ago, and what I realized is that there's a disconnect on both sides. I mean, maybe not so much now because the world is definitely amongst the network has been able to connect a lot better. But at some point, what I explained to them, I said, look, a lot of people throughout the diaspora may not be knowledge about what's going on back home, and on the same token, like a lot of you may not know what's going on in terms of the jewelry and what it means.
Delphine, you've done a lot of work in various countries in Africa documenting hip hop, particularly in these countries. Could you just for literally a minute or two just kind of tell us what that experience has been like?
One thing that I found very interesting in Ghana is like with the when everyone was doing bling bling over here and all of this jewelry, like I met a person who makes handcrafted beads and he collects beads from all over Africa, and he created these beautiful medallions for all of the rappers in Ghana, and they all wear that, and they're like, this is what represents us, and they'll break it down for you. Or even like some of the signals, like one of the photos is hiding behind there, but there are two rappers that I met in Senegal, and incorporating their beliefs in the rhyme. Like the guy has his hand like this. Like people will be like, oh, is that a gang sign? No, but it stands for 7 I, and it's a spiritual thing. And there's another one who had like the 4 that represented the first 4 people who lost their lives in the revolution. So you find some of these things within the music, and that is inspired by what they went through, and the hip hop that was socially conscious and aware, and so it's twofold, because on one end you also have people who are inspired by using hip hop as a tool for social change, and that's something that was done here as well. So it's not a clear-cut answer as far as what messages are being sent, but I think there is diversity in the messages that are being sent. But I really think that more needs to be done about educating ourselves here and the education over there.
First of all, give it up for Dexter, the curator. He put this all together. And what's interesting is when Dexter put this together, I thought it was going to be all my pictures on the wall, and then he was like, "No, we're going to have other people come in." So, and I was like, "What?" And so this whole experience has been very interesting for me. But one of the things I wanted to say, and as a young person, I can remember, I think it was public school, we had a class trip and we went to, I think it was Museum of Natural History or the Hayden Planetarium. I think it was the Hayden Planetarium. And they had this thing that would like project up on the ceiling, and it was a show. And that was the biggest influence in my life, sitting in that room in the dark, looking at the ceiling and looking at that. And that is where all of this, then here it is, X amount of years later, I'm not gonna say how many, but this is all influenced by me as a little kid, with a bunch of kids online, taking the bus, the trip to the Hayden Planetarium, and then sitting in that chair and then looking up in the sky and going like, wow, this is crazy right here. So inspire that kind of stuff. Delphine is a teacher. If there's any other teachers out there, those kind of school trips to museums and places like this. Yesterday I brought 10 people in here from, they were like 2 people from New Zealand, 4 from Germany, two from London, and somewhere else I can't remember. But none of them were from the United States. The people that I brought here for a tour yesterday with me, and they were so happy just to sit here and look at this part of something that they enjoy and be so close to it, and to look and see the pictures and be here. To be in Brooklyn was a big thing for them, because what happens is when people come from overseas, tourism tries to keep them in Manhattan, and they don't push the Brooklyn side of it. And this is, to me, is where a lot of the best culture is, right here in Brooklyn. Nothing against any other boroughs, but I enjoy Brooklyn's culture, and this is what it's all about. So thank you.